We're back at the Landungsbrücke. While the Speicherstadt and Freihafen are upstream from the Elbe River, let's now take the ferry downstream in the river. And again, there's a rush of people who want to get on the ferry. But as soon as we sit on deck, a black cloud comes along, and in no time we're soaking wet. Luckily, the sun comes out again soon afterwards. Our first stop after the big shower is the cruise terminal. The building itself already looks like an ocean cruiser.
Unterdessen sind wir alle einmal nass geworden.
We drive past the former timber port, where we have our quarters for the next few days. The office buildings that we see here along the Elbe River were built around 25 years ago. Before that, this area belonged to the fishing port, and there were girls on every corner who could be asked for their service for little money. Incidentally, the multi-story building with the glass dome is today Hamburg's noblest retirement home. Meanwhile, we have arrived at the Övelgönne station. Below us, 20 meters on the bottom of the Elbe, runs a 6-lane motorway that has crossed the Elbe since 1975. Here at the port of Övelgönne are some beautifully restored historic ships that can also be visited, such as the lightship Elbe 3. We see on the shore that a green oasis with detached houses behind the beach has now given way to the harbor. One of the most exclusive residential areas in Hamburg begins here. Unfortunately, we didn't have time in the 3 days to admire the old captain's houses here directly on the Elbe. So here are a few impressions. A narrow footpath leads past the houses. The houses with the small gardens are lovingly prepared. People can only enjoy peace and quiet here on weekdays. Crowds come here on some weekends. Our ferry now stops on the other side of the Elbe River at Finkenwerder. Many people who work in the container port or at Airbus disembark here on weekdays. The building at the top is the pilot house. All ship activities in the port of Hamburg are coordinated here, and the pilots are directed to the ships. On the southern side of the Elbe River, we see many cranes at the container port. Despite the fact that Hamburg is approximately 150 kilometers away from the North Sea, the world's largest container ships come to the port of Hamburg to unload their goods during high tide. Now that we're heading towards Landungsbrücken again, we have another wonderful view of the city skyline with the Michel and the Elbphilharmonie. We get off at the fish market hall very close to our hotel. In the evening, we visit a traditional restaurant right here at the fish market called Eierkarl. The ambiance is rustic and the dishes are sumptuous and tasty. Despite the fact that it has gotten chilly outside, we take a short digestive walk along the warehouses at the former timber port. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and we will drive to one of the most beautiful inner-city residential areas in Hamburg and visit the weekly market there.